Hi, and welcome to TalkRx with Dr. Neha. This week I have a special guest, Cori, who is a friend as well as a brave soul who's going to risk and ask her communication question, and we're going to have a dialogue all while you get to learn. So sit back and relax, and welcome, Cori.
Thanks, Neha. It's
Yay.
great to be here. So I've read your book.
Yeah.
And I picked up
bonus points.
My husband hasn't read it all the way through yet. But I read your book and I applied it to some communication that I have with my mother. I just moved her out to Colorado.
Okay.
And she and I have always had kind of difficulty communicating certain subjects.
Okay.
And so we got into one of those difficult situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the tools out of your book and plus the communications that you and I have had, and I applied it, and it worked. Yay. So I was like, wow, this is working really good. My mom and I came to a point where I said, hey, Mom, do you know what just happened here? And she's like, well, yeah, you're being mean to me. And I said, well, that's because you were being mean to me. And she goes, no, I'm not. I just said. And I said, well, how does that really look? So we came to a point where I said, you know, I would like to move past this and let's take responsibility for what each one of us say. So, and if you don't recognize it in you, then I'll say, ooh, or ow. And she's like, well, what should I say if I don't like something you say? And I said, well, you're going to have to come up with your word. And she goes, well, I'm just going to bark at you. I'm just going to arf. And I said, okay. Well, so then what I found out, or where we are at right now, and this is where I need your help to take us past this point, my mom will say something and then she arfs herself. So she'll say something kind of rotten and then she'll say, arf. I said, so now you know that you're
when
saying
it's happening.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
So now how do we go from that to not arfing, but you know, the two of us, the two of us can work through
to communicate.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So many things. The first one is you're taking one of the challenging relationships in your life, more challenging relationships, and then you just said you moved her to Colorado. So now you've moved the most challenging relationship. So those are two huge areas of conflict coming together, right? And when you physically move, whether it's a job, a relationship, or physically move a house, it stirs up. People think it's like packing boxes and moving things, but it physically actually stirs you up, right? Did you experience that?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. So, and then you guys do this, and you're pretty advanced because what you did is you've now figured out ways to have signals for each other when something is happening, right? The interesting piece about that is I would change it to something, instead of arf or ow, right? I would change it to something, if it was you and me, it would be like something loving and connecting that reminds us of our connection. So that's the first thing I do. Because if I'm with you and I go, ow, or arf, right? Like there's a way that it's like startling, and it's about how like I've done something wrong or you did something wrong. Like it's in that realm. And you guys already have a challenging connection. And so what you need to remind yourselves of is, oh my God, this is my mom. Oh my gosh, goodness, this is my daughter. Like it's more about love, right?
Right.
So I would do something along the lines of something funny that reminds you of feeling connected to her. Can you think of a way that you feel connected to her? What's something you...
Let's see, something that I would say to her or feel connected with.
Or just an experience. You can start with, I feel connected to her when, Well,
I would maybe a word, because she was going to name me Corky. So I don't know if I would just say Corky, or are you saying, hey, Mom, remember when we went to the zoo, or I
Okay,
mean,
so
are you looking
if it's
for
remember when we went to the zoo,
triggering?
you would then say something loving, like you take a
Elephant?
like something that was really that reminds you of that connection,
Okay.
because that's what you're trying to create.
Right.
See, what you did that was so great was you both have started to become aware of triggers, and now she's using the arf on herself.
Right. Yeah.
So she's actually like calling herself out. Okay, which is
And
amazing.
we've laughed about it,
Yeah.
and she knows it. So
And as soon as she does it, she realizes,
Uh-huh.
which is huge progress,
Yeah.
right? Without awareness, nothing can change. So I love that. So the first thing I do is change the signal. So both of you come up with something that really has you feeling tender and connected.
Okay.
Okay. And it wouldn't be a whole story. Like, remember when we went to the zoo? No. It'll be like, zebra or elephants or something that like connects you. The other thing is, I find that it really helps me when I'm around family or something that's challenging for me, to really check into my body and remind myself of what it feels like to be in the presence of someone who grounds me. So can you bring a person to mind who you know in their presence you feel grounded?
My husband, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So when Tom is near you, right, like if he was right here, he was sitting with us, how would you feel in your body?
Very comfortable, very relaxed,
Open.
very loving.
Yeah, loving, comfortable, relaxed. Okay, so now when you go into that space with your mom, if she says whatever it is that you may have said something or whatever it is, the first thing I want you to do is become resourceful within yourself by imagining Tom next to you.
Okay.
Right? And then it'll allow you to start breathing, kind of ground yourself. You can repeat back to her, well, Mom, it sounds like when I said move that table over here, it seemed like I was being rude or upsetting or disrespectful. And while you're saying that to her, you're actually breathing now because you're calming yourself, and then you shift into curiosity. What happened? Like, help me understand, because now you're resourceful.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's your next step for both of you, which is now we recognize triggers. We know we have it. We've called it out. We've had the honest conversation. Create a loving way that you can let each other know. Bring that resourcefulness to you, right? Breathe. Repeat back what she just said and get curious.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me your takeaways.
So instead of pushing away where we already have that conflict, it's more to bring in, more to connect and bond. So bring in a word that just connects us, maybe like her car, a Chrysler, or snowmobiling, or dad, or any of those things. Then check in with her to repeat what I just said and apologize.
If there's an apology that needs to be there, or just get curious.
Sorry, I was rude, or if that sounded rude, how did that make you feel?
You know what you can say there? Instead of sorry, I was rude, you can actually say, how did that come across? Like, it sounds like I said something that upset you. What happened? Because otherwise and I did it with you when I gave you the example too, but it's like, otherwise I'm saying, oh, when I moved the table, was that disrespectful? Those are all stories. All you want to do is, oh, I just moved the table. I heard you say, elephant or whatever it is. What happened? It's like profound curiosity.
So getting curious and just asking her a question and letting her describe what happened. And then go from there. Take that in.
And just you work on your half of this, your mom's going to pick up pretty quick.
Yeah, she has already. So.
So for all of you at home, if you know that there's a challenging personality in your life, the first thing I'll tell you is there are no challenging personalities. There's actually only people with whom I am not able to easily connect. So it's always an opportunity for you to become more resourceful, right? Because there's other people in the world that think that person is easy to get along with. But for some reason, it brings up an opportunity for you to learn and grow in a new arena. It brings up new emotions for you. So I will have you look below and we'll give you the steps to think through because this might have been a lot for you. Also, in my book, TalkRx, you can look this up as well. And there's steps even in chapter 1. It's called the curiosity tool, where you just name what just happened. Oh, I moved the table. I heard you say arf or whatever it is. What happened? It's that simple. But normally people don't know how to word it, so they avoid the conversation or they get upset or they shut down and they physically leave. I don't want that to be you. So thanks again, Cori.
Thank you. This was
Yeah,
wonderful.
thank you. All right, until next week.